You know that different people have very different definitions of love. There's an entire crowd of progressive liberals that call love is love, and they want to put stuff in your butt and call it love. Is that the biblical love? When someone presents to you something like 1 John 3:11 and says, oh, that we should love one another, that's all we should do. But then I'm over here and I'm like, all right, well, just 2 chapters later, he defines love for us. By this, that we know that we love the children of God, we love God and keep his commandments. So, Steve, I hope you understand. I hope to lovingly address the poor teachings you may have been taught growing up. If your pastor had just read the following 2 chapters of 1 John, you would get a working definition for what it means to love one another. We love God and keep his commandments. By this, we know that we love the children of God when we love God and keep his commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. They're not burdensome. Brother, it doesn't get more clear than this. Super clear. It's super clear. It's right there. His commandments aren't burdensome. So if anyone's lied to you and accidentally, just by being a poorly taught person that's passing down poor teaching, and told you that it's impossible for you to keep the commandments and that they're a burden, they're just confused. They've just been poorly taught, and they pass that poor teaching on to you, and you don't have to stay in that position. You can come out of it and walk in the freedom and the law, the liberty of God. You can walk in the power of God. You can actually walk and know that you're loving God and loving one another because you're keeping his commandments. This is why I said this is how we can know. It doesn't have to be guesswork. Always forget about 2 John. He just continues on the same vein, just continues to drive the point home. Verse 4, he starts off in 2 John chapter 1. I was overjoyed to find some of your children walking in the truth, just as the Father has commanded us. So now the Father has commanded us to walk in truth. Is he going to define what that is? And now I urge you, dear lady, not as a new commandment to you, but as one we've had from the beginning, that we love one another. Oh, sweet. Did he already define what that is in the first book of John? And this is love. He's going to define it again, that we walk according to his commandments. This is the very commandment that you've had from the beginning, that you must walk in love. So just in case anyone is confused about 1 John 3:11, you have 2 different places where John, the writer, qualifies and explains what it means to walk in love to one another as the original commandment from the beginning. And he goes on to further clarify and say that this is actually what the Father commanded, and this is what it means to walk in truth. So if you're not doing that, you're not walking in truth. Are you kicking against the goads like Paul was? Rejecting Deuteronomy 13, not walking according to the commandments of God, and it turned into him persecuting those who were, to the point where he's persecuting Christ himself? Are you kicking against the goads tonight? Or are you trying to walk in the truth? Because you're alive in the 21st century, here in the live chat, you know that different people have very different definitions of love. There's an entire crowd of progressive liberals that call love is love, and they want to put stuff in your butt and call it love. Is that the biblical love? No, it's not. They need to learn the commandments to know how to define what love is. The enemy has been redefining words since the beginning, since the garden. Did he really say, oh, you shall surely not die? He's been trying to redefine our perception and understanding of words since the garden. And this is the same lies we see today.